All right.
Hello,
Welcome, y'all. My name is Kataiser. Before I say anything else, I would like for my commentators to introduce themselves.
I'm gregovin.
I'm skun.
And Robo is currently muted because he did just step away to tell his family to not interrupt, which is really bad timing, but that's all right. We won't start before he gets back. So some of y'all may have seen the expert showcase that was earlier in this marathon today. You don't have to have seen that to watch this. We're not going to assume that you have. So the explanation of what we're doing is this is Strawberry Jam, which is a custom map pack for Celeste, which released this February. It is 111 maps spread over 5 difficulty lobbies. Took 2 years to create and has over 350 contributors, so this thing is huge. The full TAS is over 3 hours long. We are not going to be showing that today. This is just 2 lobbies from that. This is Beginner and Intermediate, the 2 easiest ones. This TAS has over 118 contributors, or no, exactly 118 contributors as of right now. So I definitely cannot list everyone, but it's a lot of people who have worked on this, obviously. And it's getting faster all the time. Yeah?
Do you have a ballpark for the number of re-records by any chance?
I could do more than a ballpark because I have that spreadsheet, so I could literally just add them up. But I don't have that right now, no.
Okay. It's a lot.
All right. Hold on. I need to tell Skun to get the video up.
We're still waiting on Robo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, welcome back, Robo.
What?
Hi.
Okay.
We did just
So,
start.
I can... Okay. So, introducing myself. Like, I haven't seen, the vast majority of this task, but I have contributed to the expert lobby task a bit, and I know about testing a lot. And I've also done most of the Strawberry Jam maps deathless each, and so I know the maps well. So I'm just reacting to this.
Yeah, so we have 3 people who have worked on it and 1 blind commentator.
Yep.
All right, I think that's that's all the
So,
preface we need.
where was the
So,
video?
commentators, y'all ready? Everybody have their fingers on the play button?
Yep.
I
Count us in.
don't.
Okay,
I
well,
don't have.
tell me when you do.
The video. Where is it?
It's pinned in the thread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulty before we
Yeah.
get started. Not a whole lot.
I'm ready.
All right, perfect. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we're also going to show Prologue here. Prologue is technically not part of Beginner, but we wanted to show it, so here you go. Why not?
Yep. Prologue is also very fast, so might as well.
Yeah, we just skipped a cutscene that teleported us halfway across the level.
Yeah, and as mentioned in Expert, TAS has lots of ways to go fast horizontally. So, yeah, with combination dash, jump, whatever. Good. Horizontal movement equals fast with dashes.
True.
Our first map is Loopy Lagoon, which is pretty normal for TAS.
The custom mechanic here is these, like, I don't know what they're called, serial blocks or something like that. There are a few things you can do with them. TAS can get multi-boosts.
Yep. This level's pretty linear, but you can do a few spike jumps because spikes on moving blocks aren't real for TAS.
Nice little couple ultras there.
And you also might have noticed that these serial blocks, they give you a boost, but it's not a very fast boost, so we do skip them sometimes.
Nice little spike jump off the block there. And then squeeze under that falling block there, Because waiting for it to
Yep.
fall is slow, and we can go under, so we do.
Of course. Right here, we're just gonna skip that room. We don't need to play it.
Or that half of the room, anyway.
Yeah, the wall bounce there is reasonably precise, but not that bad actually.
Alright, so we're back into the lobby. Lobby routing and drafting was done by Jax mainly, also Marlin and Celerity for beginner lobby. I'll credit int lobby when we get to that. Intermediate.
Yeah. This level's gimmick is these dream crystals that let you go through blocks. Because we're tasked, you can double jump out of dream blocks and do hypers out of them. So going out of dream blocks are not fast, but going out of them is.
Yep, and you can do... I believe you can do the normal, like, dream jumps, supers, hypers out of walls.
Yep. And you might have noticed the dream dash through spikes there. Yeah, that's a demo. That's very precise.
Splitx, I'm
I kinda
Kataiser, I have good
didn't
audio.
expect those.
So those were the two easiest maps in SJ. SJ is Strawberry Jam, for short.
Huh. Cool. Nice that those are first. Sure. This map's pretty chart. You're not supposed to. The water's supposed to kill you,
Yeah.
but
Just
you can
skip the left
just
side
jump
there.
off of it. Gotta get our multi-boost soon. And the level's over.
That
Very
is the second shortest TAS in SJ, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
the
makes
shortest
sense.
one being the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, someone should explain stunning.
Is there something in this? Oh
multi-boost?
yeah, so these types of hazards are called spinners, and they unload when they're off screen, and if you pause on certain frames, you can just stop them from unloading. And so those stutters are not lag, that's pausing. And that
Yep.
lets them be not
Uh,
glidable.
TLDR,
Post madness.
when the task is pausing like that, it means we're making 1/3 of spinners just cease to exist. But
Yep.
it does cost a sacrifice of a few frames every 2 frames, so we only do it when it's like significantly faster.
It's also worth noting that that previous TAS is, I think, the second most improved by percent over the draft. We saved like 50% off of it with that big multi-boost. This is
Not
Tree
actually.
Hive. Done pretty normal, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, these green blocks are really slow. A lot of them are necessary. The skip is funny.
Yeah, these are
Oh,
probably
yes.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Pretty normally, we're just gonna. Oh, and that's RTA.
Yeah, it does look pretty easy.
And you might have noticed we're basically at the end of the map already.
Yeah, so basically intended, right?
Sure,
Yeah,
close
close
enough.
Next one is actually basically intended by TAS standards anyway.
Not
Oh
really.
yeah, true. I mean, I think there's a stun, maybe.
There's a couple demos.
So the mechanic here is this flower thing, this rose, that when you, I believe, dash or jump with it, you get a bunch of speed upwards, like a dash. Yeah, there's some stunning.
Yeah, the rose is like a jellyfish, which it's kind of slow, so we don't like using it, but we have to. And we don't.
For those unaware, demo dashing is dashing with a crouched hitbox, which lets us get through gaps in those hitboxes and the spinners.
Yeah, it turns out that if the spinners are placed in a certain way, the crouched hitbox just will always fit between them. And that's also the end of this map. Collapsing skyline, that picking that map from the lobby is really annoying.
Yeah, the map is pretty locked by these swap blocks that goes up and down because you have to wait for them to
Yeah.
move. But
Luckily,
most of them are still skipped by some jank.
yep. Luckily, we can do shenanigans to skip most of it. So that's pretty short level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beginner
seems pretty
definitely
over.
has the short ones largely.
Oh, we got the dashless map. Luckily, this is like mostly not the worst dashless map ever.
It's also mostly skipped in this
Yeah,
task.
dashless. Normally, dashless movement is like really annoying, but
Some people
this
like
is
it.
yeah.
But
This is
that,
definitely one of the
So-
easier dashless maps to deal with.
that right there, by the way, going up that left, was a skip that skipped, yes, a lot of the map. And this one skips the
Yeah,
rest of it.
the rest of it.
So that would take like 2 minutes otherwise, maybe.
Yeah, I think Arb doesn't do the first one, or does a limited version of the first one, and it's like significantly longer. It's stupid. This is the only map that's still over 2 minutes long, I believe.
Hey, spoilers
In
for the
beginner.
time. Yeah, this is... Yeah, if you're tired of short maps, we've got a long one for you. The mechanic here is these clear pipes, which... They're not complicated, you see what they do.
Yeah, there's
Also, pay
like
attention to
three
the
blocks.
walls if you want to see
Except not.
funny messages. Feels like
Yeah.
Buildcraft.
But yeah, you can see the TAS is sort of jumping out of them and stuff, because they're discount dream block,
hmm
but... Yeah.
Entering into them used to be... I think, if I remember correctly, they used to be really jank, and now they're less jank, but still, yes.
Yeah, and I think every pipe entrance is like, I don't know, there's something weird about it that means you can like lose a few frames out of nowhere if you enter the pipe wrong. Or something like that.
Yeah, and it's not intuitive.
And out of these transitions, we of course are doing our blind movement because we're TAS and you can. Speedrunners do it too, but you know.
People are saying in chat they are still jank, which I believe.
Yeah, I mean, there's less glitchy jank and more like speed jank.
Yeah, the timing can be just anything. It's not actually RNG.
Yeah. I don't know how that double hit works, but it's cool.
I wonder what the deep blue test will look like. Well, you'll
You'll see.
Yep. It's a task. It definitely has at least some speed, I can assure you.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
And we're now basically at the end.
Just over 2 minutes, yep. Hopefully we can get sub 2 minutes, and actually that's a good segue into this task is not fully optimized. The SJ has been out for a few months, but there is absolutely still room for optimization. Speaking of optimization, this map.
One of the most broken one in your lobby.
Yep, let me just say, ahead we're going to do Death Warp, because change respawn triggers don't work the first frame you enter a room for some reason.
No triggers work the first frame.
Cool. And yeah, if you enter that room from the right side, you just happen to be closer to a good spawn point, which skips like a good like third to half the map or something.
And in all of this room we smuggle the time crystal, which stops time until you have like no dashes to break open the next room.
Oh yeah, those blue crystals stop time if you didn't notice.
So we're just gonna stun into the next room and fully skip that one. And we're out of here.
And done.
That is like over 50% improved. I think I remember, I could be misremembering, but I think it was 58% improved over draft. Just because there's so much routing stuff you can do.
T-Draft was more than 2 minutes, that's what.
And now onto Troposphere, the final interaction storage map.
Yes.
Okay, you see that weird thing with the Bino? Yeah, if you jump after interact with the Bino, the game still thinks you're interacting, which cancels whatever state you're in the next when you leave the room. Battle and throwing you is a state, and it usually has a super long cooldown animation. So that's why the battle and throws kind of look weird when they enter the next room.
Yeah, it's usually worth it to spend a little bit of time grabbing the binocular at the beginning of a room, if possible.
Yeah, I think we do
in
it.
this map.
I think we do it in basically every room we need to use battle in, except like one in the.
Oh, we skipped that by now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no battle. Don't need them. The other time you'll see this is our final interaction storage is if you need to preserve speed from a dash, but that's much more marginal than canceling battle and throws. Is this the room with the one landing animation?
I don't know.
No, it isn't. Oh yeah, that's what the landing is supposed to look like.
Yeah, landing that vice where I save 6 frame on it by just moving earlier for some reason. Really weird, but...
And cool fact about that feather, going diagonally on the first feather is actually faster. It's just true.
It's just true. I mean, yeah.
Also, since we just had a bit of water, it's hard to notice, but you can actually do speed tech underwater. I don't know why. You just can.
So this map is Potential for Anything, which is heavily inspired by V6. I think it literally has mostly copied rooms from that game. It also includes gravity fields, which... So, we're not gravity fields. I'm not sure exactly what they're called.
Gravity helper?
Yeah, Gravity Helper fields. Gravity Helper, which allows Madeline to flip upside down, was developed for SJ, and this is... So it's one of the first maps to...
By the way, we're not supposed to have a dash here.
Yeah, that makes this so much faster, having a dash through lab.
That's why we did that back and forth there, is to smuggle a dash. But yeah, these gravity things are all from Gravity Helper to flip Madeline upside down. Which is... yeah. And then this one is far more normal of a section, but... you know.
I mean, it's upside down, so it's kind of not really normal, but... And you get a lot of ultras in and out of this hub room. And now we're into this final little challenge here.
Yep. Well, sadly, you can't skip through the barrier because it's a solid one. And boom. Oh, our next map is the squeeze, the one tile gaps map with setups that we skipped because we're tasked.
True. I don't know how you're remembering what map is next,
Oh,
but...
I have a list.
Oh, okay, nice.
I actually have notes.
That makes sense. Yeah, so all those gaps are pixel perfect. Which pixel perfect for TAS means free, usually.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
Usually like a 20th of a pixel is like very precise at that point.
Yep. Strawberry Orchard, Banjo Song.
This map has Theo.
It It does, well, it's
Oh,
not
it's very
Theo. It's a
annoying.
bundle of jam. It's the strawberry
Jam
jam from Strawberry Jam.
Yep. Theo lets you
Jam.
get lots of speed sometimes and is very slow every other time.
German Pipe C2 Lis Jenka Fangames last.
True. Yeah, holdables are difficult, and clear pipes can be difficult. Combine them, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, at least we can get some speed with the not Theo. And just hyper off the spinners there.
Yeah, at least TAS as a revenge for the turning Theo into jam will be quick.
1/20th of a pixel more like free, thanks fan.
Okay, depends. Vertical eighth of a pixel is like hard, horizontal is less bad?
Paint! Everybody loves
yeah.
paint.
Okay, this map has cassette blocks, and the whole map has them, which means global cycles.
Yep.
It's also, it's based on the music, which still plays during freeze frames, but the timer doesn't. So every time you dash, that's basically saves 3 frames most of the time.
In a room coming up here, there is a skip that is named Corey, and it was... Corey's my name, and it's not named after me. It's genuinely a coincidence. Yeah, this room. This is, it's not a skip, it's a cycle. It's a limit, because of global cycles.
And
Thanks, Amber.
but now we got the paintbrushes. This map is legitimately so cool casually. For TAS, I don't really want to deal with it.
Yeah, no, this is not a task I want to look at.
I'm very glad Ella did all of it.
Amber did a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember saving like a third of a second early on and only saved like 3 frames in the end due to the global cycle.
And this is about the halfway, well, a bit more than halfway point.
Mostly.
You can hear the music going quiet, and the cap bus actually is a break in the global cycle, which means this map has 2 global cycles. One for the first bit and one for the second.
Key change in the music here.
So you can see in the next room that there's a sort of... No, I guess the next one, like you exit the room from the wrong
yeah.
position to do some weird movement.
Also, if you notice weird things with slopes, yeah, slopes are broken.
Slopes are
It's just-
interesting.
Uh,
Weird slopes.
that's all I'll say about slopes.
And here in the last room, like we build enough speed to collect the heart even though there's a cutscene that we're supposed to skip.
And Corsaken.
I'm pretty sure there's some instances in this map where you're going through rooms in the core mode you're not supposed to be in. Not exactly sure where.
So that core switch is optional. This mode is like, I'm not sure how much faster, but I don't think it's much. Like, I don't think it's over a second faster
It's
than
not a
the
huge
other one.
difference, no. Hey, at least we get multi-boost off stuff. That's always nice.
Yep. And then, yep.
Speaking of,
Oh, and the bottom of the screen is, the kill barrier is much lower than you think it is. Which is why the TAS dashes down at the bottom very scarily.
hey,
How to
remember the
drop
squeeze? I hope you like more pixel perfect drops.
This is a pixel perfect drop puzzle map,
Yep.
which means we play about none of it.
Yep. We do
Well-
this room though.
Yep, because these annoying Kevins are in our way, and we can't yet phase through matter.
And back to business as usual.
And then we do have to do a little bit of this room because we have the coins.
Master Opsal. I think a lot of people were excited for that task before release. It's not
Yeah,
that
so when
riveting,
we-
unfortunately. So,
Falling of the Stranger during the map is intended to get faster movement in the lobby when you exit it.
mhm.
Yeah, you might have noticed at the entrance of Soap we did something weird. That's because it's an advantageous respawn point when we go back. And you'll also notice that Soap has these bubbles and springs that don't dash, which means we are careful with where we use our dash. Soap also has a lot of auto scrollers, which we do our very best to skip.
That skip at in the previous room is intended, actually. It's not meant for RTA, but things are complex.
Yeah, so in this room we just skip it by stunning for some reason. I don't know what this room is intended for, but...
Alright, Return of the Stun. We go into a secret room, or like a decoration room, in order to skip that previous room.
Yeah, that previous room is surprisingly slow. And we're going to have another stun here, because going to the top is also surprisingly slow.
Yeah, so we just jump off the ground below the spinners there.
Little bit of speed.
And then we just keep the auto-scroller.
Yeah.
And we'll quite a bit of speed in the next room to go straight to the heart.
Yeah, we don't need to do the last room anything like how it's supposed to be done.
Alright, notice how we spawned at the bottom there instead of next to the pedestal? That's what the falling off was for.
Seeing is
So,
believing.
man.
If you haven't played this map, go play it.
We're fully
yeah.
spoiling it. Close your eyes if you haven't seen this. This is supposed to be a blind map so that you can't see anything. However, it's slower to not see anything, so at least we have good music.
Well, TAS is just following our instructions, but TAS itself
Yeah.
is blind, so it's doing it legit.
True. That's a good way of thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah. Turns out the blind level is very fast if you're not blind. Who knew? Cassette clips, again, another cassette map.
So
This
most
one
of the
has a lot more dashing to stop things out.
Dashing down, or dashing every time, effectively saves time in game time, because it doesn't affect real time, but it affects these cassettes
Yep.
indirectly. I don't think I explained that very well, but it
Yeah,
helps.
the cassettes are linked to the music, and the music keeps playing even when the timer is
Oh,
frozen.
there's a skip there. That skips, I don't know how much, a bit, and then
It
followed
skips
by
like a
another
room or
one.
two.
Yeah.
It's not that much, but it's enough.
hmm It's easy to talk about the details of how we save like 3 frames, meanwhile we're fully skipping rooms and barely mentioning it.
Yeah, also, you might have noticed the key there. If you were on the expert run, you might have heard of something called a key cycle. Yeah, this map has key cycle dependent and cassette cycle dependent strats, which is very fun.
Yep. I think EHS has like how many cycles that it's dependent on? Like 3 or 4. Anyway, Midnight Spire. Pretty normal map. Yo, but this this has moon blocks. Moon blocks are interesting because we can get a lot of speed off of them. However, this is a very vertical map, so there's not really any point. But I mentioned that for a reason that will become relevant later.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, the main way to save time in this map is really to skip as much of the sideways movement as possible, because the vertical movement is relatively restricted.
Relatively. We say while just going up the side here.
The funnies in the next room. All these rooms look the same. It really doesn't help.
That's kind of true, yeah.
And
Tragically, a stun. Testers, actually, honestly, nobody likes stuns, but they're fast, so. Well, it's interesting because they're actually very, very, very slow. They have to skip a lot in order to be worth it.
earlier we unlocked a bench. Yeah.
That
It's
is
the only bunch used in the entire TAS
Yep.
of the entire Strawberry Jam.
All right, so this is the beginner heart side. So a heart side for a lobby is a map that has a bunch of rooms, and each room is based on one of the maps in the lobby. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, celebration or whatever of the lobby.
So the first is It's My Driveway, which is only slightly less skippable than the normal map.
Yeah, true.
Yep. And
Just go straight to the exit there.
Yep. Another no interaction storage for the road, because, yep. And the battle in orbs also are kind of slow, so we do skip the first step, so I think we still have to use the second step.
Alright, and then another one of those slow dream blocks. You may have noticed the one at the end of the actual map. Here's what Seeing is Believing is supposed to look like. At the end of the next room, there's something very quick that happens. It's the squeeze. We use a zipper to fully clip through a tile. We also go off the camera here. 3, 2, 1, now. You can't tell, but it's just fully straight up going through a foreground tile, which should not be possible. But it goes fast enough that we do.
I think it just doesn't use the same kind of collision check.
These are things you're not supposed to be able to. Hit squash cancel or something. Yes. And then we got Olympia. Is that a climb hop cancel? Probably. I'm not going to explain what a climb hop cancel is.
I couldn't if I tried. Even though I guess I could maybe. But no. So hey, remember that foreshadowing? Let's go fast. Zoom.
Sadly, we lose speed immediately.
Yep.
It gets from the stars flag.
Stunning. Stunning is not stunning.
Oh yeah, I saw it was going the wrong way. Why was it gonna cheese it? Of course it's a stun.
Yeah.
We're going to do a death warp to keep 2 dashes. Yeah. You're not supposed to.
Oh, that's what that's for. Okay.
Yeah, this map looks so normal with 2 dashes. That's,
Reem stunning to sucking. True.
The most fun part of the 2 dashes is coming right up, I believe.
Alright, this is a nice multi-boost. Now we actually have some tasks happening.
And now we lose our 2 dashes because we got to 0.
Yeah.
Sad. We love our spike jumps.
Nice stacking of speed boosts.
This spike's pretty normal looking so far.
I mean, to people not used to tasks, nothing is normal here. Kind of skip a little bit here, that jump.
Yep. I noticed we saved our dash to skip some more.
And then do some funny slope stuff to get a lot of speed there.
Drops the flag, we sadly have to do like 2/3 of.
There's a really specific solve here that lets us keep a dash. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but yeah.
Then we got the cassette cycle flag, everyone's favorite.
Oh, you can go through there?
Wow, that's a really beautiful cycle.
Alright, we're coming up on the end of beginner here. However, after this is immediately followed by intermediate. So,
Yep.
we're about halfway done.
That funny movement is to gain some speed, because teleports preserve speed, I guess. That funny heart movement is pretty good.
So GG beginner.
Yes. Water boost in slowdown
like-
is done.
28. What's it? What's the time now?
I didn't.
28, 22.
Yeah. Okay. Intermediate.
So this
Alright.
first map uses like these blocks that you just push by dashing into them, and that's like the main mechanic. But we're gonna skip a lot with first these two death orbs that were intended by the mappers, and then by doing a few skip in this room. So first we demo to skip a block, and then we use this block in a weird way and expose part of the wall beneath the spinner to just neutral run.
This task is so cool. There's just interesting stuff happening constantly. That was a
There's
time
another
cancel.
time hop cancel.
Yeah, so this room is supposed to be pretty long, but you can just do some precise movement with crouch dashes and keeping your two dashes to just go up directly.
Is that? Did you just refresh your stamina on spikes? That's pretty good. I love doing that. Again, spikes on moving blocks only sort of exist most of the time.
Yep.
And here, sadly, the only way to skip this auto-scroller in a reasonable way is just to stun a spinner to wall bounce off this wall.
Yeah. Otherwise, gotta wait for that move block.
And auto scrollers do be slow.
Yeah, I think it's like 1.5 seconds to stun instead of just getting the block, which is quite a lot.
Yeah. That's pretty good for a stun.
And
This room is pretty cycle-locked because you have to wait for this downward moving block to move down enough so that the spring push block gets blocked by it and doesn't go too far.
then
Alright.
that's it.
So back to intermediate lobby. This one was drafted and routed by Jax and Doobie Steinkek mainly.
And Fish too. I mean, Ember.
I mean, there was a whole bunch of people that worked on all aspects of this task, but I'm just listing the main contributors. Yeah.
Yeah, the gimmick of this map is low gravity, which is slow.
And a great song as well.
But luckily we can keep it mostly under control, though. Yeah.
Yeah, low gravity is sometimes annoying, like if you're trying to land fast or whatever, but it does allow for some pretty big speed indirectly.
And we just skipped the
Just
thing
don't-
now.
yeah.
Switch it to low gravity because it's probably we don't need it. But
Well,
it
actually,
looks like
we're normal gravity when indoors, low gravity when outdoors. Well, except for when you hit that switch or the lightning thing.
and I think that's the first berry.
Is it?
So. I don't remember getting any in beginner.
We'll be able to look at journal. So
And we're reaching the end of the map, which means the low gravity is going to get even lower. So this section's going to be some very painful vertical movement.
yeah.
Yes.
Any landing
So-
is super slow, but just don't land. Largely.
If you miss the heart, it takes like 7 years to get
Yeah.
back. But don't miss the heart.
Yeah, that's fun, RTA. Frost or Fifth Dimension. I love this map.
Again, more pixel perfect gap. So this one has less of them, so it's less easily usable.
This has the blue bubbles that Soap had, so you do not refresh your dash when entering them. But we can still get value out of the dashes that we do have. A bunch of little skips all over the place in this task. Like that skips looping around down there, for example.
And then we're straight up not gonna play the last rooms by
Yeah.
this one just doing a
Yep.
Demander, and this one we sadly have to stun.
Yeah, in that last room it looks like a failed wall bounce, but no, that's just the fastest way to get down there. And we're out of here.
That's a pretty nice.
Sub-minute. Barely. Did not used to be sub-minute.
Yeah, so this map is also low gravity, but not exactly same as in low the one we saw before. It's more like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. This map is extremely weird.
It's a little bit weird. So we need to get all these keys in order to open some key doors to get out of that hub room. Very similar to Power Source in Farewell.
Except we can't skip it.
And to not wait like to get all 4 keys and wait a long time to install, we just get this one first in. Take like quite a bit.
Yeah. Opening key doors is one of the things for TAS.
So in this room there's some sort of like a... When you get the key you wait a bit, like I don't know exactly how it works, but for the checkpoint to get reset on the bottom of the room, there's a checkpoint in the middle so that you can retrain stuff, waiting for the ball. Key out.
Fun fact, in the very first builds of this map you could skip the entire key bit. I think I vaguely remember that, yeah.
And we're gonna skip whatever that puzzle was.
I can't believe that stun, like, saves time. It doesn't look like it should.
Yeah.
Is it too low gravity? And
Either
so
that
it's also contributing to low gravity.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay, next up we have Pointless Machines, which is the dash code map.
Yeah, this is sort of a puzzle map in the sense that you have limited dashes and you have to figure out how to use them effectively and in that order, as indicated above. So there's a lot of careful routing here. However, we can skip it in some cases. Like here.
I'm pretty sure that's the only one you can skip in the entire map.
Okay. No, the heart side has one as well.
Yeah, true.
This is the one we're dashing, the dash code just left. Yeah, that's a pretty funny one.
Yeah, I remember like improving this room by like a lot, and then after spending 30 minutes I realized that you can dash left because I was blocked by the door.
The don't dash right room. Oh, next up is Deep Blue for the person interested in that.
Alright, surely we'll get some speed here, right? Surely? And some skips maybe? Oh look, there's a skip already.
That one's so funny. Oops. Yeah, sadly, Drain Blocks can reset your speeds.
We're supposed to use a jelly at the end of that room, that previous room, but we don't need to. And then whatever that is. And then whatever this is.
That one's pretty funny.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a jelly in a lot of this. But you don't need to. Or specifically, TAS does not need to.
And now for this room, which is definitely 100% unintented.
I think there's well, the first bit of it is pretty close to intended. I think there's a, the tech that Nox did, I don't know if that was found for this map, or was just implemented here, but there's some weird multi-boost stuff off that last zipper.
Ooh, Midnight Monsoon. This one's pretty good.
Oh, there's a very important thing to explain here that I'm gonna need a head start on. So, this map, the mechanic here is these crystals that are holdable and explode after an 8-second timer, right here. Or when they're putting a barrier. If Madeline is in a bino, so is interacting with a bino, and then it explodes on her, something called bino control storage happens, and it gets very, very weird very quickly, and I do not understand it.
Basically, you can still have the bino control, so you can control the camera, but you also control Madeline. And since things killing you, things can't kill you if they're far enough off camera. That's very overpowered. And also like a bunch of things end it. But luckily we don't need to do any of those things in this room. If we needed to like dash or jump or stuff.
So Madeline is fully invisible right now, and we're out of here. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, and she just fades through like a ton of space.
Yep, just jump from the beginning of the map to the end of the room. I think, is that the only instance of bino control storage in SJ? I think it is.
Nope.
No, there's one in the next map, I think.
Really?
No, it's not the next map, it's the one after.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this time we are gonna do it with a cutscene.
Yeah, out of body experience, exactly.
And pufferfish transport. Puzzles are skippable. No, not always.
That's a multi-boost. I don't need to say anything else, it just is.
Or pipe, everyone's favorite.
So I think this room uses the fact that you have infinite stamina to just skip a bunch of it. With multiples.
Rocket Guy is in chat, who made this map. So that's cool. Yeah, just go over the barrier. Or the gate. Yeah, there's some routing here. That's for sure. It's almost possible to do that without stunning the second time, but not quite enough speed for it.
Oh no, stunning.
Exactly.
Whatever we're skipping, there must be.
Yeah, Madeline live reaction to the TAS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we enter the pipe at the same time that our dash ends. We interact with the pedestal and we enter the pipe at the same time, which lets us control of Madeline, even though we're technically interacting with the pedestal. So we are gonna get
a very favorable respawn point when we're done.
Yeah.
Yep. I think this map is done fairly normal. I can't wait to
fairly
fix
normal
it.
to tell the one place it isn't.
Yeah. So here we enter a cutscene and interact with the bino, and then we just skip the cutscene to get the same set we got 2 maps ago.
And you notice there's pausing. That's because whenever you dash or jump and it's not buffered, you exit bino control storage. So the pausing is to buffer the dashes to keep bino control storage or jumps.
Wow, how did I not know about that? I just watched that test the other day, this task. So Honey Zip, stuff, so a new tech was found relatively recently. Yeah, you can grab onto those, I don't know what they're called. You can grab onto them several times. And that allows, with some helper changes that had to be made, not for the task directly, but it allows for a certain skip. So for one, we're going to get off camera here, which was kind of accidentally found, but then we're going to fully skip all these keys and just exit the hub room. That saves 1,300 frames and was found just the other day. It's so cool.
Yeah, the zipline tech just lets you accelerate to up to, I think, like 350 speed or something. But the camera stuff is trigger J, which is always wonderful. This map is a bit visually, yeah.
This is a map where you get flipped upside down by these triggers.
And also teleported,
And
which is a
yeah.
wonderful combination.
Just skip part of that room by dashing into the next one there. It's very easy to lose Madeline here because it's black and white because of all the camera changing. But I swear this test makes some sense. Oh yeah, the creator of Honeyzip, the previous map, is in chat right now as well.
Oh, the tower. Vertical movement time, let's go. Luckily this map is like decent. Pretty good.
Yeah, this is a pretty good map, man. SJ maps tend to be good. Who knew?
I love spike climbs.
Oh yeah, there's also some screen warping here, or whatever the term is.
Green rat controller,
Screen rat.
my beloved. You might notice I'm jumping off these blocks without activating them. Yeah, that's just a thing you can do. If you're either moving up or 2 pixels away from them, you can just do that.
Oh, that's technically a V6 map. I didn't know that.
See, it's Scoop. This is, I guess technically it's a core mode map. It's possible dashless, but we're not going to do that because that's slow.
But it's still limited dashes, so you need to
Yeah.
use them effectively.
And also, this map has a lot of trolls with battle engines.
And here we use the, I think that we're gonna see in the last screen, so when we wrap around the screen, these spinners deload for like a few frames, which effectively allows us to go through like without stunning or whatnot.
And we keep a dash to the water because dashless water is very slow and also
I think this is one of only 2 maps in SJ with a little bit of dashless water. And it's only a little bit in the other one either, so it's 74, I think.
oh yeah, there's like a tiny bit of dashless water in 74.
Infiltration. So this map, the mechanic here is that as long as you have a dash, time is slowed down. I mean, there's some other stuff too, but that's the main one. So the longer you spend with a dash, it's just slow. You don't want to spend too much time with one. But you also need it sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's lasers.
I love activating moving blocks with like
Featherling cannot do dashless water. Math.
yeah.
Yeah, not
Dashless water is much harder than Feather.
But there is a dashless water tool that's being sort of worked on sometimes.
Yeah.
But fortunately, that's not really relevant.
Most people probably don't know Featherline. It's a tool to automatically make like nearly perfect inputs for feathers.
Also,
And
you're not
animate it.
supposed to do that, RTA, but you can. Those drones are very fast seekers.
I mean, TAS doesn't really care about those seekers too much, I don't think. There's a skip.
I think the lasers, there might be a few too many lasers here.
No, I think it's just the right amount of losers. This map is a lot of fun, RTA. Again, it's an SJ map, so kind of course it is. Alright, so this is where all the seekers are. I guess we gotta bonk that one, but not all of them, but it's the seeker room.
Oh, we're going backwards. Slowing down.
Yeah, slow-mo allows for some interesting multi-boosts as well. But we're out of here.
And oh,
and then we
slow-mo
can
from the crystal overrides the slow-mo from the crystal heart. It doesn't change how long it takes, but it does make it look extremely odd.
This map's really interesting to play on TAS because basically it's gimmicks that whenever you grab one of these crystals, it changes your inventory. So, like for example, if you grab the double dash crystal, you get double dash all the time, and if you grab the single dash crystal, you become dashless. So there's some routing around that to keep the most optimal one most of the time.
Yeah, basically we try our best to dodge the jump crystals as much as possible.
And I just actually skip the double dash crystal because it's so far out of the way that it's not worth taking.
This room is definitely deaded, 100%.
looks good to me.
And there's a pretty big skip that uses the softlock prevention built in Everest, where we get softlocked in a specific part of the room and it loads back the map at the closest spawn point, which happens to be on the other side. And even though you have to wait like 4 seconds for it to happen, it still saves like a whole 3 seconds, I think.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a controversial thing to a degree because that's a feature of Everest, which is our mod loader. It's not an SJ thing, it's not a Celeste thing. But you can only run in SJ under Everest anyway, so it's allowed, but it's a little bit questionable.
And there's the map.
Yeah, people are saying it's cringe. It's kind of cringe.
Oh, next up is our favorite map, Eat Girl. Thanks to Brett for routing this entire map.
I can't imagine
Yeah.
trying to route this.
This is certainly a routing challenge.
Eventually someone will.
So each room has a different mechanic in it in terms of like general mechanics, but for all of them, it's these coins. Why was there stuttering? Okay, whatever. It's fine. My computer just decided to do stuff for some reason.
And now we have our first instance of coins protected by other coins. It's a recurring theme. And we have our first instance of these blocks that move when you hit them with the dash.
Yeah, these station blocks. The previous map had them as well.
Yep. Again, used to protect other coins because, okay. Now we have slot blocks.
Which means that we need to be pretty careful with our dash routing so that this swap block's not in a bad position when we get to it.
This map is a great showcase of, at a detail level, how much faster a task can be than a human. Like this is genuine gameplay, not sped up. If anything, is lagging a little bit. Like,
And this is the requisite mostly dash room, I guess.
I fully lost Madeline there. Alright. That map is heavily inspired by a game called Eat Girl. The map is also called Eat Girl.
Now we're going to go over to Temple of a Thousand Skies.
I love this task. This one's great. Good map too.
I don't know why we just skipped there, but it probably was annoying.
So, in this map, after this intro bit, there are 4 quadrants to complete. And like some connections between them as well. So we can do top left. We're gonna do top left or top right, bottom right, and then I forget the order for the left. But there is a specific order here that is chosen. So we need to go grab those coins from each quadrant.
Yep.
That one's extremely quick.
And
That one is the most skippable quadrant.
the bottom right is just like the only one that's present, and then I'm pretty sure, at least on the way to the coin.
Oh, the really weird movement to get through those spinners for the backtrack here.
And then we go back to the left.
Oh
We're
yeah,
going-
the reason for the order is because of spinner drift. Let's not explain that one. Let's not.
Basically, sometimes
Or do, okay.
spinners decide to, when the spinner's done, we stop 1/3 of spin from loading. Which third is a good question. Spinner can change which third it is, essentially at random, very slowly over time.
Actually,
Oh.
there's no spinner drift anymore since the first half of the system has been cut like last week,
Okay, nice.
which allowed to reroute this part of the lobby.
So yeah, maybe someone will reroute this.
It's already been done, and it saved like 1 frames. I'm pretty sure it's the right side, left side doesn't
Oh.
really matter.
I should have said flashing lights warning. I forgot about that. That's fine.
And that's the map. The last map of Intermediate is Square the Circle,
Good map to end it on.
which is a
Great
map
song
I
as well.
always think is like an expert, but it isn't.
So the mechanic here is like being pushed around by these Kevins while in bubbles. Kevins we can multi-boost off of because we're TAS.
Yeah, sadly this map is relatively restrictive, but we still get a good few multi-boosts in, and it's that too.
Yeah, this is also a gorgeous map.
Oh yeah, and also Kevin's and other moving blocks can clip you through jump-throughs. That's just a leniency.
Just go through the lightning there. Just fully do it.
Not even. And apparently the bubbles can also push you through spikes.
Speaking of
Yeah.
lightning, we can the two things we can stun with pausing are spinners and lightning. So we do.
We could almost skip that left room with a stun, but there's a death plane or an invisible wall, I don't remember exactly, that prevent us from doing it above the bottom room.
And there's their good multi-boost.
This is a great one at the end of the map.
Oh yeah.
And we do a bit more stunning to skip a bit of this room.
Death warp because that bubble is apparently super slow.
Probably multi-boost at the end as well.
Leap.
Yeah, probably. Right to the
Yeah,
heart.
of course.
And that's most of intermediate. Now we have the intermediate hard side.
Yep. Okay. Pay attention.
Oh yeah, just go through that
Elevator.
elevator.
Yeah, that's my fault. I love that so much. By the way, RTA viable too.
This used to be fully going under this level with a stun, but it's just slightly faster to do it like normally. For that room specifically.
I got this visual map again.
Oh yeah,
And
this,
we're gonna do a stun here with like when you report the spinner or not for a bit, like this screen wrap, and you can just use it to hyper off this block.
Eat girl flag. Again, thank you, Brent.
I don't know why the screen goes dark there for a moment.
I think I'd honestly enjoy routing Eat Girl gameplay as well.
This is another, just like Sea of Soup, you gotta be really careful with dash usage in that room.
And then we got
Grab the bino.
Frosted Fragments, which there's supposed to be an auto scroller here. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, it's for the camera triggers.
And
Jank at the end.
grabbing that bino allows us to, I'm not going to explain it fully, but it lets us get more speed out of that previous room and into this one for those ultras.
Yeah. It turns out canceling dashes is fast because if a dash ends on the ground, it slows you down significantly almost always.
These stuns really suck. I apologize that you have to see this, but it's fast, so.
Oracle flag. Definitely 100% intended.
And if you like the multi-boost at the end of the actual square of the circle, well, we have a treat for you.
We're
That one
just
goes
gonna
on for
skip
longer.
that long horizontal section.
Skip the
Oh, we
puzzle
don't
here.
We don't need the jelly, we can just demo. Britannica flag. I don't remember anything about this.
Yeah, I worked on this one a little bit. Not a whole lot to say though. So in this room, you're supposed to loop around twice, but with some careful movement, we can just not.
Yeah, speedrun is like one loop, we do 0.
That's
And
Like
we-
half a loop.
And
we
we're
can-
also going to skip this dash code completely and just go over.
In this, we're going to hit this puffer here to hit both of those coins to get out without having to do the puzzle.
Deep blue flag.
We're supposed to carry a jelly to the end, but we can
We don't
just
need to do that.
do
We
a bit
don't
of
need those
thing.
coins either.
This used to be going all the way around left here, but lightning stun.
Midnight on sea flag. This one's like surprisingly long. Also warning for lightning.
Warning for lightning? You mean like thunder volume?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, and this is the last flag, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we are coming up on time.
And then we just do one last elevator clip and
Another elevator clip to go.
build some speed and using these slopes to collect the heart.
And there we go, that is intermediate. Well, thank you all for watching. That's GG. A few closing thoughts I have. For one, play SJ, play Celeste. And if you're, I also want to say, like, for people who are watching this who aren't testers, I see a lot of people in chat who are, but for those of y'all who aren't and who want to get into tassing, I highly recommend starting with Celeste. Like, seriously, we have really good tools, we have a great community. That's true for speedrunning as well, start with Celeste, but yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Y'all would be welcome. I should also show journals here. So here are the times, beginners at the top, intermediates at the bottom. Those are the times for every map. There are no berries in beginner, but there's one in intermediate, so there we go. Yeah, thanks for watching. That's all I have. Commentators, if you want to say anything else.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
From
For work from the
3
past month.
hours coming soon, TM.
Oh yeah, cool TAS.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all. Cheers.
And thank you for showing it off to the beautiful world. That was our last Celeste run of the also strawberry, but Celeste run of the marathon. Up next, we have an I Want to Be the Blizzard race with Let Create an R&D Guy. Stay tuned for that.